Good morning, all. Thank you for joining our class. It's unfortunate because of the state holiday that we have to go online for this course because time is fast approaching for our exam. So today we'll continue with our course, Environmental Impact Assessment, Auditing and Environmental Law. And today we go more into how an environmental audit is being carried out. So at the end of today's lecture, we'll be able to explain the major steps in environmental audit, describe the requirement for preparing an audit report, identify areas that can be audited in a given site, give reason why the management needs to be involved in audit process, describe how a good environmental report should look like. So basically, today we will look at the steps by which an environmental audit is carried out, why what are the things you do while you are actually carrying out the audit exercise on the site, and the management, the company, how you need to carry along the top management people involved in the company, the reason for them to know the importance of environmental audit. So an environmental audit process is the main aspect in environmental auditing. Last week, upper week, we talked about environmental auditing. What is environmental auditing? What does it involve? The type of audit process that were involved, we talked about it. So at this stage, we want to know what an audit process involves. It involves the identification of what is needed to be audited, the definition of the scope, identify the roles and responsibility carrying out the audit, and the production of a report. So when you want to do an audit, you want to know what scope is it carrying, who are the people that will be involved. And after doing that, you would produce what you call an audit report. You produce an audit report. So let's look at the step-by-step process of environmental auditing. The first step in environmental auditing is planning. The first step is planning. How are you going to go about the audit process? The first step is planning. So you plan, okay, how do we start it? Where do we start from? What are the things that are going to be involved? What types of audit do we want to carry out? So the first step is planning. The second step is choosing the audit team. So if the federal government, or let's say the chief of army staff or the IG says they want to audit the security situation, or they want to audit the types of ammunitions in the armory of the Nigerian police or the Nigerian army, you cannot say the people that will carry out the audit are civilian, because they will not know the types of weapons that are in the armory. They won't know the name. So even they will just be doing the counting. But a person who is familiar with the guns, who is familiar with the type of gun, will be able to carry out the audit. Okay, we have 5 semi-automatic, we have 7 pistol, we have 5 Beretta, we have this. So that means the choosing of the audit team is very, very important in the audit process. If you want to carry out an audit and you don't choose the team properly, there is high probability that they will not be able to do a good work. You want to carry out an audit team, and it has to do with water analysis. You want to do a water analysis, you want to do the chemistry of the water. But unfortunately, everybody there, they are economists. Nobody knows how to do water testing. So which means the basic purpose why you want to carry out the audit will not be fulfilled, because nobody has the knowledge of water testing. The next one is inspecting the site and collection of data. You cannot sit down, you want to carry out an audit in Lagos and you are in Abuja and you are making phone call. Okay, how many things do you have? What are the things you have? It is yellow, it is black, it is this. No, it is not tenable. A person who wants to carry out an audit must be able to visit the site. You must inspect the site. You must make collection of data. You must take one step-by-step process by which you gather your information. So inspecting the site and collection of data is very, very crucial and very, very important. The next step is analyzing your results. So when you collect the data, when you gather the information, you will need to what? Analyze. Okay, so you are asked to go and audit the armory of the police college. The armory of the police college, the number of guns the police used to train the young recruits. So you go there as an ex police officer to go and audit the armory. So when you audit, after collecting the data, you want to analyze, okay, this is the number of guns that we have. 5 of them are rusty. 5 of them don't have their metal casing. 5 of them do this. So you must be able to analyze the result, because if you just put up the result and say, okay, you have 5 Beretta, 10 this, you submit it. At the end of the day, they come and they find that, yes, they have 5 Beretta, but out of all the Beretta, none is working. Out of the semi-automatic, most of them are jammed. They are rusty. They have not been cleaned. That means you have not been able to do any audit exercise. You must use your report, the data you collect, you must analyze it to make it meaningful. That is the purpose of an audit. You must make your result, your data, to be what? Meaningful. And in making a result meaningful, that means you need to what? Analyze the what? The result. After that, you evaluate the audit. Evaluate it by making recommendation. Making recommendation by saying, okay, we have been able to do this, but we have not been able to do this. Okay, we should have gone ahead to do this. However, we don't have enough time. Okay, next time we'll be able to do this. So you evaluate your whole process. Okay, this is supposed to take us 1 hour. However, because we have to wait for the store manager to come and open the door, to come and do this, it takes us more than this period. That is what we call and evaluating the audit process. And this will share a lot of knowledge. So people want to come and carry out similar audit exercise, or people want to come and do similar job, they will be able to know the kind of problem, the kind of things you encounter to make their work seamless. So the environmental audit process takes 4 key steps. An environmental audit process takes 4 key steps. The 4 key steps are the do, the plan, the do, the check, and the act. The plan, the do, the check, and the act. So before you carry out an audit exercise, you must be able to plan. The plan aspect of auditing looks into the scope. How long, how wide? Okay, they ask you to go and audit a warehouse. A warehouse has about 5 sections. It has the inventory section, the processing section, the packaging section. We also have the store. We also have where customer comes and buy. So if they ask you to come and do audit exercise, how will you do the audit exercise? There's no way you will do the audit exercise without knowing the scope. You want to come and do a warehouse. Okay, if you want to do warehouse, is it the whole warehouse you want to audit, or is it part of it? So that step is called the plan. Then the do. The do involves carrying out the audit itself. Step by step carrying out the audit itself. So this includes the pre-audit, the site audit, and the what? The post-audit. After that, the check. There's sometimes we carry out activity during the audit exercise, but unfortunately, there are mistakes. So before we put out our audit report, we look at the report with what we have written down, and like somebody carry out temperature of a room, and they said the temperature of the room is minus 10 degrees centigrade. Wow. When you see the result, wow, how can the temperature of a room be minus 10 degrees centigrade? Is it air fire? Is it something burning there? The room temperature, we normally know it. So when you see a report like minus 10 degrees centigrade, you probably go and check, okay, this one, let's go and take the readings again. Let's go and take the readings again. The reading cannot be minus 10 degrees centigrade. Probably the equipment, the person who submits the report did not submit, who record the report did not record it very well. So that is the check process. Then the act. That takes place when the improvements are installed, standardized, and introduced to improve into the other area of the organization. So the actual purpose of carrying out an audit is to be able to check where the organization is lacking. Is to be able to check where the organization is lacking and how you can help the organization to work to move forward. So for an environmental audit process, the process involves the plan, the do, the check, and the act. So also, an environmental audit has a scope. An environmental audit has a scope. The scope determines the extent by which the audit is to be carried out in the facility. It involves clarifying the audit site, the boundary, the objective, and identify the area to be audited. Okay, if, like I gave the example, if they ask you to go and audit the armory of the Nigerian Police Training College in Ikeja, that is your scope. Don't say you want to go to the account department to check the amount of money they are spending. Don't say you want to check the store and look at the number of food the students are eating. I don't know. That is not your scope. The scope you are given is carry out an audit on the armory being used by the Nigerian Police College. So which means you have your boundary. You can't go past the boundary. Don't say you want to go and you go to the kitchen. You want to go and check the kind of food the students are eating because they are what? Some of them are your family member and they have complained that their food is not good. That is not your scope. So an audit exercise, you must be able to know your boundary. You must be able to know the objective. Why you want to carry out the audit. The purpose of the audit is very, very important. So let's look at an environmental audit. What are the objectives of an environmental audit? The objectives of an environmental audit, one, include investigate information such as history, including previous environmental damage, things that has been done that has caused problem, things that has been done that has caused problem within the facilities. An environmental audit can help you to look at it. Like a petrol station now that has leakage, a petrol station that has leakage, you may want to carry out an audit to know why did the leakage occur, what really happened with the leakage. Also, you want to examine the current practice of the company. How is the company faring? How is the company doing in terms of environmental management? That is also an audit. You can also do a management of resources. You can also carry out audit of management of resources. A bakery is supposed to produce, let's say, 50 pieces of bread from one bag of flour. If a 50 kg bag of flour is supposed to produce 100 bread or 50 bread. However, your own company, you are producing 30. So when they said a 50 kg flour is supposed to produce 100 bread, but your own is producing 30, which means you are shorting by 70. Why are you shorting by 70? So you want to know, you can audit, how am I losing my raw materials? Where is my flour going? So you want to know whether it is the workers, the process they are carrying the flour, why they are carrying the flour is spreading away. Like imagine there's a proverb in Yoruba that says, if you are spreading your yam flour during a windy period, what happened? That means most of the yam flour will be spread away by wind. So imagine somebody mixing flour and your workers feel because it's mixing flour, he normally feel it. He now decided to on fan. There is probability that most of your flour will go away because the fan will take them away. You may not know, but an audit exercise can help you to find out that, actually this is where we are losing our raw materials. An audit exercise can also help in pollution control. It can also help in pollution control. How am I introducing bad things into the environment? The air, the water, and the land. An audit exercise can also help you. An audit exercise can also help you in handling, storage, and disposal of chemical or hazardous materials. An audit exercise can also help you in housekeeping. An audit exercise can also help you in housekeeping. How much energy do you use? How much paper do you consume? How much water do you consume? some Nigerians, they don't care the kind of thing they were using when they were using the hold meter. But immediately they started using prepaid, they changed their way of life because they know that the prepaid cost more money. So you start seeing people say, don't hold the light, oh, I'm using prepaid, oh, don't use this, oh, I'm using prepaid, oh, don't use this, I'm using prepaid. But initially, when it is a bill that is being brought, what happened? Nobody cares. So an audit exercise can help you to look at your consumption. An audit exercise can also help you to verify compliance to legislation. Every company are to comply. Every company are to comply to certain policy, permits, and regulation in Nigeria or wherever they are practicing. An audit exercise will help you to know how compliant are you to the law of the land. An audit exercise can help you to know how compliant are you to the law of the land. A key example that I normally give is the noise level. The noise level, the industrial noise exposure by workers should not be more than 90 decibel for 8 hours. So, but if you don't measure the noise level within the facility or the factory, you will not be able to quickly know whether the noise your workers are doing what are exposed to is more than 90 decibel or is less than 90 decibel. So if you carry out the noise level, you do an audit of the noise, you'll be able to know whether you are in compliance or not. An audit exercise can also be for internal policy and company conformance. Some company take principle in what they say. Some company take principle in what they do. So an audit exercise can help you to see whether, okay, are we following the company policy? Are we following the company performance? An audit exercise can also help you to identify areas by which you want to improve. Your company wants to improve. I'll give you an example. I was in a meeting with some of Dangote team, and the HSC manager asked me, and we were talking, say, Mr. Lasisi, you see our company is very good. Everybody like Dangote, this. I just tell him, Oga, nobody like your company. The first thing you talk about Dangote in Lagos or in Nigeria, the next thing people say is accident. I said, they say, Dangote trailer, Dangote trailer, Dangote trailer. Yes, you have Dangote sugar. People are buying your product, they are buying your cement, they are buying this. But one thing that normally affects your company image is what? The accident of your drivers. If you are not able to look at that accident of your driver, there is no amount of thing your product is doing to Nigeria. Your image cannot be corrected. People will be saying Dangote trailer are killing people. Dangote trailer. You must be able to. You must be able to do that. You must be able to do that to improve. So for Dangote, which area of improvement? If we do a survey in Nigeria and say, which area do you think Dangote company should improve? Everybody will say, they are tanker drivers, so they are too reckless, they are this. So if an audit exercise is carried out, that's key things that most people will talk about for Dangote. So we've talked about the audit process. We've talked about audit team selection. How do you select an audit team? It depends on the kind of audit you want to carry out. The types of audit you want to carry out to determine the types of audit team you want to select. Their qualification, their specialty is very, very important. So also, it's very, very important when you are selecting the audit team. For environment, you want to talk about air quality, you want to talk about water use, you want to talk about energy consumption, you want to talk about material use, you want to talk about waste management practice, noise, you want to talk about noise, and you also want to talk about accident and emergency record system put in place. So those are things you want to do when you talk about the audit process. So, however, before you carry out the audit process, There's what we call pre-audit information. Pre-audit information. You go to the company. Probably you gather information in the company. You want to know about the history of the company. How many workers do they have? What is their operational procedure? How many times do they work in a week? Do they do continuous process or they do shifting? You want to know about the storage, what kind of materials do you have, so that you get yourself prepared. If a company, the company you want to go and audit is a company that stores hazardous materials, and you are not prepared to wear, you are not coming with kit, PPE that will save you from hazardous, you can't just go in there. So you need to prepare. So it is very, very important to do pre-audit information. Have a meeting with the company and know about the company before you start carrying out the audit. I said there's a proverb in Yoruba land that says, you cannot shave a man's head without his word, without his approval, unless if the man is dead. So when you want to carry out an audit, the company that you want to carry the audit, the management must be committed. There must be management commitment. There must be management commitment in audit exercise. If the management is not committed, the consultant is just doing nothing. And that's what you find out in Nigeria. They'll just say, come and do the audit. Come and do the audit. Say, it's government that want me to submit report. Do the audit and submit the report for them. No, an audit exercise is not that. A company, management must be able to put his heart in it. Why am I doing this audit? What is the benefit for me? What is the takeaway from it? That is very, very important. So I said, when you want to conduct an audit, what are the things you do? What are the things you do if you want to conduct an audit? The first thing you do is you have a meeting with the team. You have a meeting with the team. Most especially the meeting must be on their side. In the meeting, you approach the methodology, you tell them how you want to carry out the audit. You tell them how you want to carry out the audit. You have a meeting with them, you talk to the staff, you get information from them. The next one is you review their documents. You review their document. They bring out the documents, the worksheet, what they are working, how they are working. You want to look at it. Let's say it's a manufacturing company. What is the raw materials they are using? What is the output? What is the company output? What is the volume of water they are using? What is the volume of waste they are this? These are key things you must be able to do. Then you do site selection. You want to audit a farm, and a farm that is about 5 hectares of land or 5 acres of land. You want to do the audit. You can't say you want to stay at the main gate and take all your sample. No, it's 5 hectares. How many samples are we taking? If it's 5 hectares, we are taking 5 samples. That means each of the samples must come from each of the hectares. You have 5 hectares, you want to take 5 samples. You can't just say, okay, you sit inside one of the hectares and take 1 sample. It's not representative. So you want to take 5 hectares, I must be able to take 1 sample in each of the hectares to represent all the 5 hectares so that the company will know that, yes, I've been able to do the right thing. In site selection also, you should be able to take pictures, draw diagram, make maps. Why this is very good practice, it's important to obtain permission from the management in respect of safety aspect. Don't just say because you're an auditor, you go to a company and you start taking pictures, No. There are some places in LNG that they can't allow you to take picture. Despite that they are external auditor. They cannot allow you to take picture because some of those things are trade patent. Some of it are trade secret. They won't allow you to take picture. Some companies don't allow you to take picture of their process. You cannot say because you are the auditor for Coca-Cola now. They ask you for their raw materials. Coca-Cola will give you the raw materials. No, nobody knows the raw materials of Coca-Cola. They'll just tell you Coca-Cola concentrate. What is inside that concentrate is only known to some top management. Not everybody knows it because it's a trade secret. So don't say because you are an auditor, don't say because you are an auditor, you now want to do this. No, it is not done. So after carrying out the audit exercise, you review the audit exercise by what? Collecting the data. You collect the data, information collected through interview. You can take samples, do by observation. You go around, okay, I'm looking around, I'm seeing oil inside your drain, your generator, around your generator, there are a lot of oils, a lot of this, there, this. So you make those observations and you take pictures. So like I said, any observation you recorded, you must be able to verify the data before you put it inside. You record noise, and the noise is 250 decibel. You go to a room, and the room is quiet, and you're reading, your equipment is telling you 250 decibel. That should be able to tell you that that equipment is malfunctioning, because a room cannot be quiet, and the equipment is giving you 250. A room that is quiet, the noise level should be between 30 and 45. So don't say you put that in a report that the room is quiet, no noise in the room. However, the reading is 250. They will look at you. How can a place be quiet and the noise level is 250 decibel? So verification of the audit data is very, very important so as to guarantee that the document produced are genuine. So that the document produced are genuine, so that people won't. So after you do all this, after carrying out the audit, after talking, you sit down. You sit down with the company and you have a meeting with them. Don't ever publish a report about a company without agreeing with the company. You must be able to sit down with the company and what? And agree and tell them their shortcoming before you submit it. Some consultants, they will write a report for a company. They will not allow the company to see the report. They will have submitted it to the government agency. And when the government agency is using that report against the company, it's the fault of the consultant. So a closing meeting is very, very important every time before you finalize the report. So after doing that and you have finalized, you now leave the company. When you leave the company, what are you going to do? You are going to do the post-audit exercise. The post-audit exercise mostly involves preparing the report. Preparing the report, writing the report. That is what the post-audit exercise is all about. You write the report. You write draft a report of your writing. So, how do you write a report? What makes a report a good? What makes a good report? A good report should state the facts, finding. It must be factual, and it must include compliance to standard policy and legal requirements. It should also be accurate. It should be accurate, and it should be clear. The report should come in a language that is simple. Don't go and be using gogumos to perish. The land is flat and it's undulated and it is. Start using big grammar that the company management cannot even read your grammar. Some people will be writing a report that they will be putting Latin. They will be putting Latin. They will be putting philosophy in it. No, the people you want to you don't ask them to go and carry dictionary because they want to read the audit report. And it should be scrutiny. It should be straight to the point. Don't say, okay, when we go to the side, we move to the left, we move to the right, we turn right, we turn left, we now go back. No. All those things should not be inside an audit report. The draft report should be prepared on time. The final report should be within 4 to 5 weeks. 4 to 5 weeks. It shouldn't take so long when you are submitting an audit report. So what are the things that comes inside an audit report? What is the content of an audit report? Most especially, an audit report will have an executive summary. An audit report will have an executive summary. We'll have an introduction. We'll have the purpose and scope of the audit. Introduction is you want to know about the company. What is the company doing? What is their capacity? When did the company started? Those are things we want to see in an audit report. The purpose and the scope of the audit. Why am I carrying out this audit? It's a regulatory audit, yes. I want the government to know that I'm in compliance with the rules and regulations guiding my practice. What is the scope? okay, the scope is that, okay, for now, for this year, we are only doing our warehouse. We are not doing the whole facility. And what is the methodology carried out? We are going to do water analysis. We are going to do soil analysis. We are going to interview workers, whether they are satisfied with the kind of health care we give them. So these are things that must be. And the next thing, the report must contain discussion and analysis of the finding. Whatever you do, all the method you use in the methodology, any analysis you carried out, anything you get, you must be able to discuss them and analyze them. Yes, most of the workers that work with us are always complaining about back strain. They're always complaining about standing too much. So if the international law says, okay, workers that work for standing, let them sit for every 30 minutes. But you find out that even as sitting for every 30 minutes, your own workers are not relaxed. You increase it to 45 minutes because individual difference also contributes. So you reference to item for corrective actions. So that is when you find out that, okay, these are the things that we are lacking. You do what? You find the corrective actions to do it. And you put up an actions and recommendation. You put up an action and recommendation. This is what we are going to do. This is the next thing we are going to do. This is how we are going to do it. After that, you do what? You conclude. After that, you what? You do a conclusion. From there, you put in the appendix the distribution list, the number of things that we are going to do. You record the record of the audit process and the participants, list of participants who carry out the audit. How many people help you to do the audit? These are things you want to put. What are the characteristics of a good auditor and the team? What are the characteristics? So what are the benefits of carrying out an audit? The worst one is that it demonstrates commitment from the organization. It demonstrates commitment from the organization. Number two, it identifies environmental risk and impact and opportunity. What are the risks that are in there for the company? An audit will help you to quickly identify them. An audit will help you to review your process, the plant operating procedure, or any activity currently on environmental standard. An audit will help you to do that. We have less than 10 minutes. Benefits of carrying out an audit. What are the benefits you gain from carrying out an audit? It can help you to prevent financial loss. It can also help you to prevent closure of the organization or activity resulting in government restriction. If you don't know that you are violating law and government comes and they find out that you are violating law, what happens? They'll seal you down. But if you have done an audit, your consultant will quickly point it out for you rather than what? A government official pointing it out. Identify area where costs can be saved. I gave an example, somebody that is producing bread and is losing most of the flour for the production because the workers are always on the fan when they are producing and the fan is taking most of the flour dust away and you are losing from there. So an audit will help you to minimize the loss. Also, an audit can help you to save you from legal tussle. If your waste is contributing pollution to the environment, an audit exercise can help you to quickly identify it, whether before your neighbor will take you to court and sue you. So these are the kind of benefits you get. So we have less than 7 minutes. Let me stop the lecture here. If anybody asks any question, we can on our video. If anybody has any question, let us just in the next 7 minutes. If in the next 7 minutes, if you have anything, let us just review it together. Hello, if anybody has any question, any observation. You can unmute yourself. If anybody wants to ask any question, you have the power to unmute yourself.
Good morning, sir.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Ilesomi, sir. Good morning, sir.
Hello, sir. Are you hearing me?
I'm hearing you loud and clear, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Concerning this auditing of a firm.
Yes, sir.
It is practicable, but What about the internal policy under which a junior staff has no authority to speak? For example, if I may quote my former office, if any law enforcement agent, no matter how small or big the rank is, has anything to do with the company, it's either chief security, not even either, it's only chief security officer. If any other government agency has anything to do with the company, it's either do or die affairs, human resources manager. The white man doesn't talk to any external body, no whatever. What happens in such an organization if auditing is to be carried out by a government agent? These are one of the shortcomings that can affect this thing. That is the awkward aspect of it.
You know, I said.
Do you understand me, sir?
Yeah, I know. I said the commitment from management is very, very important. Every company must show commitment to audit. And that is what we have in Nigeria. And I keep on telling them, most of the company, the human resource department, the HR manager, are normally the one that cause problem to most of the company. Because they feel they are shielding the company and they are causing problem. An HR manager cannot do the work of an environmental manager of a company. An HR manager cannot do the work of a chief security officer of a company. So most of the HR are always thinking they are protecting the company, but they are not protecting the company. They are causing problem to most of the company. I have seen it. I have seen it. The HR manager, the health and safety manager will make a recommendation. It is time for us to do this. The HR manager will step it down. Somebody will say, okay, it is time for us to do food handler test for our workers. So the HR manager will step it down. When the government official now come and find out that they did not do the food handler test, what happened? They sanction the company. They sanction the company. And the MD, everybody will not say, HSC manager, why didn't you tell us that we are supposed to do this? He will tell them, yes, I told the HR manager. It's the HR manager that stepped it down. So we normally say some critical aspects in some organization, some critical aspect of the company, they do it two ways. The HSC manager report to the HR manager and also report to the chief executive of the company. You submit your report to the HR manager, however, you copy the MD directly. If the MD is somebody that is committed in his company, he will be copied so that if the HR manager did not carry out the activity, the MD will call him that, I saw the HSC manager saying we have not done this. When are we going to do it? And if he's saying, no, go and do it. It's my company. That's why we said management commitment is very, very key in any audit exercise you want to carry out. Most of we hear in the past 1 month now that most companies in Nigeria are having issue with Federal Inland Revenue Services. And some companies cannot believe it that they have not been paying tax to federal government. Because most of the MD, the owner of the company, always believe that they have been paying. But the account department of most companies don't pay federal tax. Probably they will be reporting, when they are reporting in the management, how far with our tax? Done, sir. How far with our tax? They'll be saying, done, sir. Done, sir. But not knowing that they have been cutting corners. Now that Federal Inland Revenue they are going after them now, most of the companies are shocked. When they said that you are owing federal government this, most of the companies are shocked that how can we be owing federal government this amount of money? But my staff have been telling me that we have been paying. But the people who have been paying have been doing sharp practices with it. So that is why management commitment is very, very important in any audit exercise we want to carry out. We have less than a minute. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you next Saturday. I'll post the video. I'll post the video online for anybody that wants to review it again. Immediately after the class, I'll post the video online so that we can all listen to it again. And if you have any question, just send it to me via WhatsApp, then we tackle it. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you very much. Thank you. We thank God. We thank God.
No use bottle for video.
Mr. AK, we did not see your we can't see your face. Ogbonna also, we can't see your face.
I don't know why we are not seeing the. I'm not seeing the face. So
it is you now. You did not on your camera. You did not on your camera.
Maybe you did on your video.
You have to on your camera now. Yes, now you have to on your camera.
Okay, I did not join quickly, but I enjoyed the lecture.
It's all right. We thank
yes,
God.
It's okay.
Yeah, okay. I'll record. I'll put the recording on. I'll put the YouTube recording on so that you can listen to it at your own leisure time.
God bless you, sir.
We thank God.
That one we chop that. I put it on WhatsApp. That one we chop that. I put it on WhatsApp.
That one we chop that. Okay, I'll put it on WhatsApp. I'll record it and put it on WhatsApp for everybody to listen to.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay,
Thank you. Enjoy your Saturday.
Bye, sir.
Bye.
When I know carry but to go election.